You do not have to spend thousands of dollars on paid ads. In fact, you can still make 7 or even 8 figures without spending a single dollar on paid ads and still get those clients, still get those sales. Over here at Stop the Scroll, we actually have a certain criteria that our clients have to meet before they can start dipping their toes into ads. Because time and time again, we're seeing so many people lose money. In fact, I even had a client come to me as a firm believer in ads being the only way that you could get any kind of reach or visibility, and very apprehensive when I asked her and told her to take down her ads. But once I showed her our method that I'm gonna go over in this video, she was very excited to not have to spend any money on ads anymore and still get sales and clients from organic traffic. But first, in order to show you how this works, we're going to split it up between micro and macro content. We're going to start over at macro content. Macro content is essentially anything that is long form and or evergreen. Macro content is evergreen and relies heavy on searchability, meaning you would actually type in Google and your piece of content would pop up. These tend to be more long form pieces of content as well. Some examples of macro content include YouTube, podcasts, blogs, Pinterest, just to name a few. So now let's go over how to utilize your macro content to advertise your lead magnets so that you can build your list and generate those leads. So let's go over how to utilize your macro content to advertise your lead magnets and generate those leads to turn into sales. Now, as the funnel queen that I am, I'm gonna actually show you this and how it actually creates a funnel itself. Starting off with, let's go with YouTube and podcasts. So essentially you're gonna create your podcast, your YouTube, it's your long form. Now, during your videos or your podcast, you're obviously going to be planting seeds and you're going to be talking about your things that you offer and your lead magnets as well. As an example, I always tell people, go steal my funnel. It's a free guide that you can download and you can get yours below this video. Then what you're going to do is actually take that piece of content and you're going to essentially transcribe it into a blog post. Okay, this is where it can get a little bit intricate and fun or exciting, especially if you're me. So that blog post is actually posted on your website, right? And on your website, you're going to have, say, a bar at the top where you're promoting your lead magnets. You are even maybe going to have an exit pop-up as well that is, again, promoting your lead magnets. Then you're also going to turn that blog into a pin on Pinterest. The reason why Pinterest is actually a form of macro content is because it is very much so a search engine as well. And it generally will always take you to some form of long form content, whether it's direct to your YouTube video, direct to your blog post, or direct to your lead magnet. So with one video or one podcast, you have essentially created so many forms of content. You've created a blog post, you've created a pin, and I would recommend 2 pins because one pin will actually take you back to that blog, which will take you over to that podcast or video. And then the other pin would be direct to your lead magnet. And obviously you can have this one running all the time, regardless of whatever piece of content or long form content you are creating. Now let's go back to our website. So I mentioned having, say, like a scroll bar at the top or different places, having your lead magnets placed to allow people to subscribe and having your lead magnets kind of scattered throughout where people can essentially sign up and download. But here is something that a lot of people, maybe yourself included, are not including, and that is to include exit pop-ups, especially on a sales page and a checkout page. This is going to help create that rebound traffic and ultimately meeting your customer where they are at in their journey. If they are about to exit, they may not be ready to purchase at that time, but they might be ready for downsell or even just something free, your lead magnet. This can dramatically increase your conversions, not only from your lead magnets, but overall sales as well. And we didn't even spend a single dollar on an ad. So let's now jump over to our micro content. Now, the best way to define what micro content is, it usually involves a lot of recency, meaning that you're going to have to post to keep recent and up to date on trend with what's happening on the social media platform. So I'm sure you've already guessed that's definitely going to be your Instagram, your Facebook, Facebook, your LinkedIn. And to be completely honest, I used to categorize TikTok into your micro content, but the truth is it's kind of in between because it's becoming more and more like a search engine. More to come on that topic later. So how do we advertise our lead magnets inside our micro content? The simplest way is obviously just making a post about it with the call to action to actually go and download. But in order to actually get somebody to download your lead magnet, you can utilize something called ManyChats. ManyChats is a free and or paid program where when somebody comments a certain word or DMs you a certain word, it will automatically send them the link. So that's why you're probably seeing comment the word growth below this video or DM me sales if you want this. Now that method works really well because people are lazier and lazier as their attention spans get shorter and shorter. We're not seeing people actually going over to the profile, clicking the link in bio, then going over to their whatever link page, then tapping that link, and then actually signing up for the lead magnet itself. So we take out a few steps by utilizing our ManyChats. And then obviously besides the actual feed content on whatever social media platform, we're going to talk about it in our stories, but we might even actually share more of the story behind it or sharing a client case study on how they utilize your lead magnet to get such and such results, or even why your lead magnet will help solve their problem. Now, a strategy that I actually find probably the best when it comes to promoting your lead magnet, especially your newsletters, is actually creating FOMO around the topic. And what I mean by that is you're actually kind of sharing little bits and leaving a breadcrumb trail to the actual lead magnet or newsletter or sign up form where they're going to get the full picture. And then other things that you can do within the micro content, especially kind of talking about Instagram, is putting something up on your pin post about your lead magnet so that it's one of the first things that people will see. Obviously putting it in your link in your bio so that if somebody comes to your profile, that will obviously take them over there. And then lastly, what you want to do, regardless if it's micro or macro content, is constantly plant seeds. And all that I mean by that is talk about it. Tell people about it, share it. Don't necessarily ask them, go download this, but share what you do, what's in it, what's included. Maybe I'm creating a video and I talk about a certain email sequence as an example. And I'll say like, this is why I created this email guide because so many people are coming to me and asking me, hey, Katelyn, how do you write an email sequence? Well, guess what? I created a free guide to that. And you guys, that's also me planting a seed. Do you see how that all works? So now that you have successfully advertised your lead magnet, have people enrolling or downloading your freebie, now what do you do with them? That's where we want to utilize your funnels. So if you want to learn what is the right sales funnel to use if you're an online coach, then go over to this video where I'm going to break it all down so you can turn those leads into cash and turn your business into that passive income making machine you want it to be. I'll see you over in that video.